evening and welcome to Channel 8 Update on this 21st day of March 2018. I'm Dane Carter.
And I'm Olivia Conley. We began tonight with an all-gender bathroom that will be open in Mason Hall. When the lack of a gender-neutral bathroom was brought to the attention of Fredonia President Virginia Horvath last week, she was quick to act. Facilities Planning and Facilities Services were called in to convert one of the restrooms into a gender-neutral space. President Horvath hopes to make certain that a proactive approach concerning all-gender bathrooms is implemented in all future facilities at Fredonia. Horvath stated, quote, "In making our campus more inclusive, changing spaces is the easiest thing we can do. Changing minds and practices related to inclusion is much more challenging," end quote.
This past week, Fredonia's Entertainment Board, Spectrum, announced the performers for the campus's Spring 2018 concert. Spectrum plans a spring concert every year for the students of Fredonia's campus. Past headliners have included New Politics, Sammy Adams, and Hello Goodbye. The famed rapper Kid Ink will headline the concert on April 28th in the Steel Hall Fieldhouse. The concert openers will include Fredonia's own student DJ Chris Thompson and EAR Entertainment. All students over the age of 18 are permitted to attend and may purchase a maximum of 2 guest tickets. Tickets will be on sale at SUNY Fredonia's ticket office for pre-sale, where students may purchase the tickets for $8 and $12 for student guests.
Dane, thank you. And research by Dr. Sherry Mason, a Fredonia chemistry professor and department chair of geology and environmental sciences, has been getting worldwide recognition for the global study of 250 water bottles from 9 different countries found with microscopic particles of plastic, known as microplastics. In nearly all the major name brands of bottled water, the test showed about 10 particles per liter. In a recent interview with BBC and Dr. Mason, she stated, quote, "It's not about pointing fingers at particular brands, it's really showing that this is everywhere, that plastic has become such a pervasive material in our society," end quote. And ahead, your national news, and our Chelsea Barron brings us a report on how prepared SUNY Fredonia is for an active shooter situation.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
Fantastic. So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah. Bro?
Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. It was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit SaveTheFood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find, cultivate, and train a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
I realized that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. It's got nothing to do with fairness. Bam. Your whole world changes in an instant. And you never see it coming. That's what happened to me. The day my mother had a stroke. I'm Paul George, and I want you to learn the signs of a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Protect the ones you love. Spot a stroke. F-A-S-T. Fast.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
Fantastic. So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. It was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit SaveTheFood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
Welcome back. This weekend in Austin, Texas, a bomb believed to be a part of a string of racially motivated attacks has injured 2 men. This is the latest of 4 explosions happening in the area. As of today, a suspect was identified by police. Police were able to track down Mark Anthony Condit through receipts and cameras that linked him to the FedEx deliveries. This morning, police located Condit at a nearby hotel. After following him to a ditch, he detonated a bomb inside his car, leading to his own death.
Ride-sharing company Uber is facing scrutiny after one of its self-driving vehicles struck and killed a 49-year-old pedestrian in Arizona Sunday night. The car was traveling 40 miles per hour in a 35 miles per hour zone and did not slow down before hitting Elaine Herzberg. The test driver of the car, however, was not injured, according to CNN. Drivers in Uber's autonomous vehicles are only present as precaution because the vehicles are intended to fully replace a human driver. Uber responded on Twitter saying, quote, "Our hearts go out to the victim's family," end quote. The company also pulled all test vehicles from the roads in US and Canada as the crash is investigated. While this is a first for Uber, an autonomous Tesla car, which requires more driver participation than Uber, killed its driver in 2016. Nonetheless, companies such as General Motors and Intel are currently testing their own self-driving vehicles, while Waymo, a Google company, is releasing self-driving cars without a driver at the wheel this year in Arizona.
As spring rolled around the corner, the whole East Coast experienced the 4th northeastern snowstorm this year so far. For the past 3 weeks, schools and airports have been closed due to this late winter weather. According to the CNN's meteorologists, this storm has the potential to be one of the greatest snowstorms we've had, even though it's so late into the season. Over 4,800 flights have already been canceled today due to the snow. The White House, as well as the State Department in Washington, had to cancel events today. New Jersey has been put into a state emergency due to the blizzard-like conditions. The most dangerous part of the fourth storm in the past 3 weeks is the potential flooding these states could experience once the snow melts.
Dane, thank you. Have you ever wondered what to do and how prepared SUNY Fredonia is in the case of an active shooter? Chelsea Barone spoke with the campus community and university police.
Dane and Olivia, good evening. As school shootings continue to be on the rise, I spoke with SUNY Fredonia faculty and students to gauge their understanding on what they would do if an active shooter were on campus. Tonight you'll also hear from university police about their plan of action.
We have training, it's online training where you view a PowerPoint, then you take a quiz on it, and we do have violence-related training, but the violence-related training tends to be what would you do, say if there were a domestic situation, if a student becomes agitated in your office, those kinds of things. And those are probably more things that I would run into on a day-to-day basis. But in the case of a true campus-wide danger, say even a bomb threat or a shooter or somebody with a knife, I have no idea what to do in that situation.
What we're going to do is give very specific instructions of what we need people to do, whether it be barricade themselves wherever they are, evacuate a building if need be, stay away from certain areas. Anything that we need is going to be very clear, concise, and easy to understand.
I've heard things about sexual assault and I've heard things about acts of racism, so I don't know if it's like the safest it can be, but I know that I do feel comfortable to an extent going here.
We encourage everyone, especially the students, to watch a video that we have on our website, which you can get to from the fredonia.edu site. Just click on University Police. There's a video on there called Run, Hide, Fight. It's short, 5 minutes and 55 seconds, I believe, and it kind of breaks down what happens in these situations, what's expected for people to do in those situations, and also what the law enforcement response is going to be.
Students like Stephanie believe it's important to have conversations about what you would do if such a situation were to occur. Back to you in the studio.
All right, well, Chelsea, we thank you. It's now time for your Channel 8 weather update with Sandrine Hamilton.
Welcome back from break, everyone. I hope you all went somewhere warmer than Western New York in the wake of multiple nor'easters. Today was a bit windy, but overall not extremely cold. After so many intense winter storms, I am pleased to say that it will warm up ever so slightly within the next week or so. We will remain in the 20s to mid-30s for a while. But next Tuesday, temperatures will reach the 50s. It's not exactly spring weather, but it's not too bad by comparison. We have your outlook in just later tonight. We'll be back after this short break.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot Top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. It was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month. That's a lot. Isn't that a lot? Go visit SaveTheFood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find, cultivate, and train a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
I realized that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
I guess sometimes things just happen. Devastating things. It's got nothing to do with fairness. Bam. Your whole world changes in an instant. And you never see it coming. That's what happened to me. The day my mother had a stroke. I'm Paul George, and I want you to learn the signs of a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. Because the sooner they get to the hospital, the sooner they'll get treatment. And that can make a remarkable difference in their recovery. Protect the ones you love. Spot a stroke. F-A-S-T. Fast.
Guess what? I have some news for you. There's free food right there, junk food. You see that truck? Oh, jeez. It's a 2 Michelin star chef. All for free, ladies and gentlemen. All for free.
Here we have a panzanella with summer vegetables and pesto. Enjoy. How we doing?
So what do you got going on underneath that plate there?
This food is really about to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Is there something wrong with this food? Where did you get it from?
From farmers markets. They put aside the ugly vegetables and the ugly fruits.
Carrot Top, soft avocados. It was all food that was going to be discarded.
Even the drink you had is made from like a little bruised peach. Did it taste a little bruised?
Great. It was good.
The average person throws away 24 pounds of food a month.
That's a lot.
Isn't that a lot? Go visit SaveTheFood.com for more information. Thank you. Junk food time!
Welcome back. In international news, North Korea is entering talks with South Korea regarding the abandonment of their nuclear weapons program. According to Chung Yu-young, Presidential Security Director, North Korea made it evident that as long as open dialogue continues between the North and the South, that the North would not carry out any additional weapons tests. Chung additionally stated, quote, "The North expressed its willingness to hold open-minded talks with the United States to discuss denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula and normalize North Korea-U.S. relations," end quote. In response, the Trump administration has professed that it will only enter direct talks with North Korea provided the country commits to full denuclearization.
Severe weather conditions hitting Europe have negatively impacted many lives. According to CNN, 3 deaths have been reported in Poland, and the Spanish Interior Ministry said that 6 people have died in Spain. Anna Adamkowicz of the Government Center for Security said, quote, "The number of weather-related deaths in the country has risen to 18, end quote. And this was for a period of 1 week. Airports were shut down and many road and rail passengers faced transportation difficulties. In addition, warnings have been set out for Northern England, Wales, and Northern Ireland for ice and in Scotland for snow. Although the teeth-chattering temperatures have risen in southern England, many countries such as Ireland, Germany, Italy, and Norway still face brutal weather.
BBC News, the National People's Congress in China has officially removed the two-term limit in their constitution on the presidency and is now allowing their current president, Xi Jinping, to remain in power past his 2 terms. One term of the Chinese presidency has consisted of 5 years. Originally, Xi Jinping would have had to step down from his presidency when his 2nd term ended in 2023, as his first began in 2013. But that is no longer the case. The vote by the National People's Congress was very much so only a rubber stamp vote, with only 2 members voting against the term limit removal and 3 abstaining out of 2,964 total votes. Many Chinese are supportive of this change and want to see Xi Jinping in a positive light, but there are dissenters, particularly online. Users have been using images and memes of Winnie the Pooh to represent Xi Jinping as a method to voice content. These have been blocked by the Chinese government censors, according to CNN. Following the vote to remove the 2-term limit, Chinese censors also blocked the phrase ascend to the throne and the word immortality. They even blocked the letter N for a limited amount of time, which was believed as being associated with the number of terms the president would stay in office. According to BBC, Xi Jinping's rule has had its benefits, such as the clamping down on government corruption, but his rule has also led to attacks on emerging Chinese freedoms and increased the state surveillance and censorship. Kevin Syracuse now joins you with your Channel 8 Sports Desk. Kevin, welcome.
The University of Buffalo men's basketball team shocked the world last Thursday as they upset the Arizona Wildcats 89-68 in the first round of the NCAA tournament in Boise, Idaho. Leading the way for the Bulls were senior Wes Clark and juniors Jeremy Harris and C.J. Massenberg. Clark had 25 points and 7 assists, Harris had 23 points and 7 rebounds, and Massenberg had 19 points and 6 rebounds. The Bulls combined that with a strong defensive effort to upset one of the top-ranked teams in the country. Unfortunately, their season ended on Saturday as they lost to the Kentucky Wildcats 95-75 in the second round of the tournament. However, there's a lot of optimism for next year's team as Clark and Ikenna Smart are the only players graduating this spring. The Buffalo Bills had a busy first week in free agency as they have now signed 12 players to their roster. These 12 players include cornerback Vontae Davis, defensive lineman Owa Odigizua, star Lutulele, Kyle Williams, and Trent Murphy, safety Raphael Bush, linebackers Julian Stanford and Ramon Humber, running back Chris Ivory, quarterback A.J. McCarron, and offensive lineman Russell Bodine and Marshall Newhouse. Williams, a leader on and off the field, will be back for his 13th season with the team, while Humber will be back for a 3rd year. The team also made a couple of big acquisitions as they traded starting quarterback Tyrod Taylor to the Cleveland Browns for a 2018 third-round draft pick, and offensive tackle Cordy Glenn, the 21st pick, and the 187th pick to the Cincinnati Bengals in exchange for the 12th and 158th pick in the 2018 NFL Draft. That's all for your sports. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
I'll be right back. Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
It's me, Artie. Come see what I collected from the Creative Galaxy in my idea box.
Transform your world.
Will you help me make art?
Before you throw it away,
Hey, I have an idea.
think outside the box.
Go be amazing!
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Today was fairly average for Fredonia, New York. During this time, however, much of the east was buried under Winter Storm Toby. It will be sunny for the next few days and fairly chilly. Though we will be seeing some light rain showers later on next week, humidity will remain fairly steady, but begin to crop up around next Wednesday, with average wind speed as well. Not a remarkably warm start going into our first week of spring, but also not too cold either. Now for a look at our 7-day forecast. It's going to be a high of 43 and a low of 23. For Tuesday, a high of 46 and a low of 35. For Wednesday, a high of 34 and a low of 22. For Thursday, a high of 35 and a low of 21. And for Friday, a high of 35 and a low of 20.
On behalf of the entire Channel 8 Update team, we'll see you next week and have a good night.